So speaking of Garrett Wilson and some of the young pups on the roster, Jermaine Johnson also shout out going to the Pro Bowl. That's
Good for
great to
him. He
see.
had a great year.
Yeah, awesome to see. This
Top
question is
10
from
player
Mike.
for me that
Yeah,
year.
we're getting there. Let's pray that Will McDonald could do that year two jump because I think we both think Bryce Huff is going to be gone, unfortunately.
Ugh.
Question from Michael Sen. Thoughts on giving extensions now to Sauce, Garrett, JJ, and Breece? All these guys are great players who will be part of the core moving forward. And by extending them now, you can lock them up through most, if not all, of their 20s, get them some guaranteed money while at the same time freeing up some cap space for Huff and desperately needed offensive pieces. I know this is done more frequently in baseball than football, but seems like it could benefit both sides here. Your thoughts on if we could, should any of these guys and how extensions might look. Now, I believe they actually can't. It's too early. But at which point, the moment it becomes possible, how proactive do you get? And what does the money look like for those guys? Maybe kind of talk through like when they actually could do this as all these guys are heading into year three. When can they address it? And what do you think? I think maybe what's a little more interesting, even like what is the order of prioritization and how they attack it between those four? My guess is, if you were ranking it today, I'm receiver biased. I would probably put Garrett one because I just need to see him with Aaron Rodgers. I feel like he can be a 1,500-yard guy. Sauce to date has been the guy, of course, you would pay first. And in this scheme and how they play, like he's been the best player so far. But how do you think that's handled with the four, effectively like the 4 first-round picks? I know Breece wasn't, but he was like right there. How are they going to go about doing that longer term?
Right. So the question's still fair, but yeah, you can't extend a player till the final regular season game of their third year of the rookie contract. So they couldn't do this year. Now, if you want to talk about this for next year, the question still stands, right? So this might surprise you. It's actually Breece is who you extend first because you have the 5th-year option on the other 3 players, but also not just that, you're trying to time up Breece that you have him under contract. And it's not that you don't pay running backs. It's just how you pay running backs is what matters. It's not that you don't pay them. You want to time up Breece that I would love to avoid the franchise tag running back dilemma with him first off. That's a big thing here. It's, you have it in your back pocket, but you'd like to not go that way. Because what if you extend Breece after year 3 and you give him a 3-year extension where you rip up year 4 of the rookie deal. So you give him a raise in year 4, but you're getting the value in years 5 and 6. So then you had Breece for 6 years. Breece, the way he's built, is probably going to be an excellent NFL running back for 6 years. And then because he's a pass catcher and he has really good rush feel, he'll be a good player in the NFL. But it's running back. I mean, let's be real. You probably, if you got 6 great years out of him, that's amazing. So that's why you pay Breece, because you're projecting what he is and avoiding the dilemma that all these teams have ran into. I mean, the Giants with Saquon. You know who did a great job of it, and nobody talks about this? The Packers with Aaron Jones. The Packers extended Aaron Jones. Basically, they paid out 2 franchise tag years as an extension, and both sides were thrilled with it. And Aaron Jones is awesome. So the Jets need to kind of think of a proactive way for Breece that after year 3, year 4 is whatever. You find a way to make the financials work, but you're almost paying Breece's franchise tags in years 5 and 6 as a contract extension. That's the smart. It keeps Breece happy. It's the right thing to do for the better of your football team. And it times up that you're walking away from Breece's money when, unfortunately, he's going the wrong way. Why the other 3 guys, you have to pay them, but you have the 5th-year option. And realistically, I don't think they'd want extensions. Jermaine's a little different. Like Jermaine, it makes sense. But Garrett Wilson might just want to be the next highest paid wide receiver in football. Sauce Gardner will want to be the next highest paid corner in football. So if they're willing to figure out that extension after year 3, that's great. But look at Justin Jefferson with the Vikings right now. He had no interest in doing a deal last year. He just wants to wait it out and then strike while the iron is absolutely scorching to blow the market out of the water. I mean, Aaron Donald did this on the interior D-line market, and guys weren't able to top his deal. Jefferson wants to do it on the wide receiver market. So it's a great idea, but I don't think Garrett Wilson or Sauce Gardner go for that. Maybe Sauce, because the corner market is just very uninspiring compared to the wide receiver market. But yeah, good idea. Not as easy to execute as you'd think.
Take some notes, Chad Alexander.
Like, here's the why, right? Because people are thinking, why'd you argue for that with someone like Bryce Huff? It's not the same. Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson were stars as rookies, and they were top 10 picks. They're just always elite football talents. So there's no projecting anything. When it's time to pay them, they're going to get the highest deal or near the highest deal of their position in the league. And that's that. And there's nothing you could do about it because they've earned that. The argument with Bryce Huff always was, here's what his numbers have done in a small sample size and how much better he's gotten year after year after year, starting from when he was a prospect from Memphis all the way to his rookie year to the year after that to the year after that. You're projecting a trajectory with a player that isn't appreciated for what he's becoming. That's what the Jets suck at. Any dummy can see an offensive rookie of the year or defensive rookie of the year and go, oh, I should pay them a lot of money. That's not the job. The job is projecting. Yeah, they're going to be good. Right. That's where I'm going with this.
I mean, look, it's an interesting thing to start thinking about, and it factors into something we don't talk a ton about, which is sort of the post-Rodgers world, whatever that's going to look like. Is this, of course, is why you have hope, hopefully, that this team could build some sustainable success. And before we close with a really interesting question that's got some